What's up, friends? And a happy birthday to Dan Courtwright.
Oh, you're so nice.
Welcome into Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Behind the cameras today, we've got Elijah Schmidt and Tyler Brewer. And the birthday boy, Dan Courtwright, is sitting alongside me. My name is Sean Kellerman. Thanks for joining us. You want to chime in?
Question for you.
Yes.
At what age do I start lying about my age?
Oh, you're past it.
Am I past?
You're past it, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm 28 today.
28. So 29 is when you remain 29 for a long time.
Okay, so that's so
Some
29,
of my friends are still 29.
So 28 doesn't worry me as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one step closer to the grave.
Right.
You know, one step closer to 30, which is like unfathomable.
I know,
I mean,
man.
I don't know how you dealt with that, whatever that was 30 years ago, but like 29, that's the one that scares me.
You're going to
Like
be 29 forever.
In 365 days, that is the one where I'm like, oh, crap. Like,
Yeah.
I got one more year in my 20s. That's when I think I'm going to start hitting my midlife crisis.
What you need to do is you need to start looking at me and start taking notes. That's what you need to do.
Oh, God.
Because I act much younger than you. You already
do.
act like an old man and are going to be a great old man when you get there.
That's the thing. And I think I need to reel it back in because you've met a lot of my friends.
I have.
And every
Your
single
friends are
one of
cool.
them, every single one of them is floored by the fact that you're 35. Because they go, he has such a youthful spirit about him. And you look,
I mean,
you look good. You look okay for your age.
Look at our case race at your bachelor party.
I know.
I mean,
you have a
and
youthful
Tyler
spirit
wasn't here
about
for
you.
that.
You had your backwards hat on and your crew socks and your slides. And
That was so great.
Yeah. And
So I just ran a train through everyone.
You
If I
did.
could go on a tangent here
All right.
at the case race at Dan's bachelor party, and I remember specifically finishing whatever amount of beers it was, and then just casually walking over to Dan, who's there in his sunglasses, like struggling. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, how's it going?" And he goes, "Are you bleeping done?" I
Yeah.
remember you specifically saying that. And I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh yeah, my empties are over there." But anyway,
Yeah, it's tough.
no.
Well, okay, yeah,
You have
fair.
a youthful exuberance about you at times, but
Thanks.
again, like I've always said, you're going to be a great old man. And you're one step closer today.
I know. I am going to be a very, very good old man. I need to. So you actually might be right. I might need to just take a little bit of your youthful exuberance
Maybe.
about you and ingratiate it into my life.
It could be, maybe,
Yeah.
but you're doing all right as is. You're 28 now.
Yeah.
No gray hairs yet. I've got some gray hairs. It happens. If you have 2 daughters, that'll help speed up the process.
Oh, good. I can't.
So
well, yeah,
when
I won't.
you and Piper have kids, maybe I don't know. Maybe try to have a boy.
I'm gonna have a head of thick black hair until the day that I die.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Does Chris Courtwright agree?
No. But my
Shout
mom.
out to Chris, by the way.
My
Love you.
mom's real dad had he had thick black hair, and
Yeah.
good hairline up
Yeah.
until he died.
My mother's father had
So that's what it is.
great thick hair, but it was like silver since he was like 20
Oh,
something.
sure. See, it's the mom's side. It's the mom's dad.
Supposedly, I don't know.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking that.
You're doing well though. You still the mustache.
Yeah.
You woke up today. You still had the mustache.
Still
so
have a mustache.
you know, there's that.
No gray hairs. I feel good. I played basketball yesterday.
Another year passes.
I wasn't able to dunk it yesterday. I didn't.
Okay.
I tried once. It was tough. My clock did restart in about March.
Yeah.
So that's my gauge in terms
So
of
it's
how
not after your
whenever
birthday,
I get old.
it's every 12 months.
Yeah. So it's a new 12-month clock starts when I dunk a basketball. And I dunked a basketball back in March, so I have a new 12-month clock going all the way back to March. So I still have time, and then that's my gauge of when I get old is if I'm no longer able to dunk a basketball within a year of the last time I did it, that's when I'm officially getting old.
Yeah. All right. That's fine. I was really upset. We had a softball game Monday, and I had such a terrible read on a line drive to short. Like my vertical was like an inch, and I was not able to catch it. I was like, "What a bad read!" And now it looks like I can't jump. And I'm like, "Oh my god! I hope this is not." I hope
You're
this is not the beginning
you
of
were
the
also
end.
wearing shoes that were too small.
Oh my god! Yeah, dude, they felt like I have
I gave him
no
my
idea.
cleat. He left his cleat. He only
I
brought
opened
one
my
cleat.
softball bag, and I have one cleat,
Yeah.
and the only other thing I've got on are my slides. So I'm like, okay, so Dan had an extra pair, but they were at least a size, like a full size, too small.
They're 11 and a half. That's a regular size
They were 11,
foot.
you said. They were 11.
No, the ones I gave you were 11 and a half.
That's strange.
But they're narrow and they do
I
fit tight.
guess.
They fit tight on me.
Yeah, well, they were really tight, and anyway, that was kind of a mess. But we got to go through the rundown, what we're going
Yes.
to talk about on the
Oh my
sports
gosh,
side.
we're doing a show right now.
But first, I've got a little something for our birthday boy, Daniel Courtwright. It's right
Okay.
over here. I wrapped it. I decorated it.
he got me around me a gift. Oh my gosh.
This is for you. This is not from
feels
all of us
heavy.
at Kansas Nation. This is only from me. All right.
Feels
So
very-
you got to be careful. I would open it from the top. Yep.
Sure. Oh
And
my
I would pull
gosh.
it out completely. And as you all know, Daniel is off the juice until August. So I have gifted him some non-alcohol
This is
beer.
amazing.
This is going to be beautiful
Oh,
for the
wow.
next 2 weeks.
That's so
Obviously,
good.
you now have an opportunity to have a beer when you get home since you're off the juice otherwise until August 1st.
This is incredible. Yeah, I have decided to stop drinking until August 1st. That is my date, just because I had like 5 or 6 weekends in a row where I just did nothing but binge drink, and so I'm like, I need a little factory reset, and this is perfect.
Look at that.
This is perfect. I actually did.
0.0.
You know what's funny? I actually did have a beer with you on Monday.
That's true. I
after
know.
the
Well, you
softball
said you
game.
get some freebies. But
I had a couple of freebies, but this is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna crack these open. So what's the point? What's the point of non-alcoholic beer? Is it just
I
like
don't know.
it gets you fat and you get nothing out of it?
I
Is that what it
don't-
is?
I would love to be able to chime in on that, but I don't know. I think maybe people.
I don't
'cause
drink
how many-
beer for the
How many
taste.
calories are in this? Aren't there still like 100 and something calories in it? I got
guess-
no idea. I went to the liquor store. I had no idea where to go. Like, so I was looking for Ultra Zero, but they
That's
only had
sick.
Ultra Zero Lime.
Sure.
And I didn't want to buy 12 of them. They had Ultra Zero 12 pack. I'm like, I'm going to buy the cheapest NA beer there is.
50 calories.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
There you go. I mean, that's
12
that's a third the amount of a
carbohydrates.
normal Budweiser.
12 carbohydrates in these bad boys.
That's a lot.
I know. That is a lot.
Wow.
So anyway,
Yeah.
well, I appreciate that. My
Well,
my zero alcohol.
Yeah, this will work out great because you can let them get to a nice temperature of about 88 degrees. and you can
Yeah. I'll
drink
leave them out for a while and
Yeah.
drink these warm non-alcoholic beverages. That's
that are
very
loaded with carbs.
That's
Yeah.
very nice of you. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. The birthday boy himself, Daniel Courtwright. Hey, KansasNation.com is the place to be. I want to tell you about that because, Dan, we've got an event coming up on Saturday that you are going to be out at. We're going to be all over. It is the Good Game Meet the Team Tour with Kansas football, and you can find us on socials at the Kansas Nation, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Kansas Nation on Facebook as well. Dan's going to be out there, and he's going to be getting some interviews, some videos, some photos of kids signing up, and we've got that link for you as well if you want to sign up your kid. It's 1st through 8th grade, the Good Game Meet the Team Tour.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So be sure to get out there, sign up your kids, go to goodgame.com, thegoodgame.com. Really important. And I'll put out a post today about it as well. You'll be able to see that on all of our social media platforms, but it's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, you literally get to meet your heroes, right? You have a chance to have your kids go through drills and learn from the Kansas football team. I mean, how cool is that? It's going to be out at the indoor complex. So be sure to sign up. It's going to be this Saturday. I'm going to be out there getting a ton of content for everybody. It should be a ton of fun. So yeah, like I said, thegoodgame.com. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'll put out the link on all of our social media platforms as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, excited for that. And then the basketball tournament, of course, is next week. We'll touch on that later in the show as well, but that's going to be game 1 in Manhattan and game 2 in Topeka. If necessary, game 3 will be back in Manhattan. Tuesday's game in Manhattan, Wednesday in Topeka over at Lee Arena, home of the Bods. After that, Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, LJWorld.com. He's going to be back in studio, Daniel. We haven't had him in here in 3 weeks. That's almost sinful.
Well, he went to Italy for a Vogue
Oh my God.
magazine photo shoot.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
I'm going to ask him about that. I didn't tell you, but that's the first thing I'm going to ask him about.
That's good. If you didn't know, check out Henry's Twitter. So his dad's wedding made it into Vogue magazine because his dad married like a former supermodel.
So, yes, Paulina, I can't pronounce her last name. but
Probitska or
Paulina is a Czech supermodel.
well, now it's Paulina Greenstein.
That's true.
So.
She's a Czech supermodel that I know certain older fans of the show were big fans of back in the day.
It was really funny. I told my dad, I said, "Oh yeah, Henry's dad. He's marrying some former supermodel like Paulina." He goes, "Paulina," and she said her last name. I was like,
She's got like 1.5.
You know
million
who that
followers.
is.
I'm like, oh my God. But Henry's dad, Jeff Greenstein, who, as we've discussed, has written for some of the most popular sitcoms of all time.
Yeah.
Friends is one. Will and Grace is one, if I'm not mistaken.
Desperate Housewives, I believe.
Jeff and Paulina were here at the Kansas Nation studio. We got a chance to meet them. And again, Jeff is Henry's dad, and Henry got a little run in Vogue magazine as well, being in the back of some of those wedding photos. So I'm excited to ask him about that. But we got KU Football Media Days to ask him about. We got Kansas baseball. We got Kansas basketball as well. He wants to chime in on the basketball tournament.
And if I'm not mistaken, Henry is going to be bearing gifts for you as well. Because
I think he might be bearing gifts for both of us. We'll see.
That'll be okay.
You're
But
not a huge energy drink guy.
He did say something about that there is a Monster Energy Drink Big 12 hat that I can't imagine it fits with Henry Greenstein's style. So he's going to give that to you because you're the biggest Monster Energy drink guy that we know.
That's very, very true. So yeah, I'm good with that. Henry is always so kind to us here at Kansas Nation. After Henry is here, we are going to recap last night's All-Star Game. Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Waka getting some run. Otherwise, it was kind of boring. The American League scored 3 in the top of the first, and they went on to win 4-0. Jordan Walker pitched in for the NL with a strikeout. After that, we've got the KU Mailbag segment. By the people, for the people. Dan, preview some of the questions we've got coming up.
Yeah, got a couple of birthday ones. What's my most memorable birthday? What are the best ages to turn and the worst ages to turn? I want you to chime in on that as well because you might have some thoughts in terms of worst ages. You have a ton of experience. I mean, you have more birthdays than anybody that I've ever met.
That's weird since you have a lot of people in your life who are older than me.
God, you're so old. But yeah, we have one from Elliot. It's a this or that, and he's paired postseasons with each other, and you get to pick between those, so that'll be fun. Dream NIL sponsorship, that'll be a good one. I think we've had that one before, but still going to be a fun one. So yeah, I mean, a lot of good stuff. And then we have a particular one about what we're going to talk about in this opening segment about Mihailo Musikic, and I'll probably break that down in this segment as well. We can revisit it in the mailbag segment, but interesting stuff going on there.
Yeah, KU Mailbag segment, one of our favorites every week. Talking a little NBA Summer League after that, and some TBT news as well as the roster is revamped. We feel more confident that there's at least going to be a tournament. There's going to be a team.
Yes.
There's going to be a tournament.
Yeah, since we last talked, there's been more people added.
Yeah, and we'll keep you up to date on that. And then we're going to close out the show looking at Kansas' final home opponent for the football season, BYU. They come to town on November 21st for Senior Day. Of course, BYU, they have the Big 12 championship appearance last year, led by Kalani Sitake, who had some offers from some other programs, opted to stay in Provo, and they've got a good thing going. What a weird deal that was with Jake Retzloff last year. But they ended up going with number 47 as their quarterback.
Yeah, Bear Bachmeier.
How do you feel about 47 as a QB?
Take a wild guess how I feel about 47 as a quarterback. It's the worst. That is not even just for a quarterback. 47 might be the worst number you can wear.
No, 36 is terrible.
36 is fine. 36 is not.
How is 36?
36 is a hard-hitting linebacker.
Dwight Howard wore 36. Who else? A hard-hitting college linebacker, maybe?
That's what I'm saying. A hard-hitting college linebacker wears 36.
Dwight Howard for the Lakers.
Or like a big bruising running back.
Jerome Bettis.
36.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I could see Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, but 47 is the worst number you can ever wear.
I don't think so. Who was
Jared Casey.
Who was the... Ouch. I thought you guys were boys.
We are boys. By the way, shout out to Jared Casey. It's also his birthday today.
Weird.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ted Owens. His birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
I wonder if he enjoys a nice, crisp Bud Zero.
37, also a bad number.
73. 39. 39 is bad. Reese Dixon Waters wore that for San Diego State last year, I think.
Dwight Howard wore it for the Lakers.
No, 36. I just said that.
No, he wasn't 36. He was 39.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure he was 39.
Yeah, he was 39.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's terrible. He also was 12 for the Lakers, which 12 was Dwight Howard's number. I don't know. Did he have 2 stints with them?
For the Lakers?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he might have had 2 stints with the Lakers.
Initially he was 12. God, he was really good player, but
last
also
high school guy ever to be drafted in the NBA. By the way,
is that right? Mm-hmm. Good nugget there. All right, let's get into this opening segment. Dan, you've got some particulars on a guy who could potentially be added to the KU basketball roster. Somebody that we mentioned sometime in the last couple weeks. We don't know for sure. There haven't been an inordinate number of sources that we trust out with this information. So we're going to put that out there. We don't know if this is legitimate or not, but there have been a few sources who have come out saying that Kansas might be getting another big.
Yeah, so I trust Shea Wildebert. Shea had been on this for a while over at Jayhawk Slant. So I do trust him, but apparently it came out from some other sources, again, not entirely... we don't want to jump the gun. This is why I haven't posted anything yet. I don't want to jump the gun. And now, granted, we are pre-recording the show, so maybe something will come out. But he is not eligible right now. So I don't think that anybody is allowed to put anything out there officially quite yet, including Mihailo Musikic. But that's who we're going to be talking about. Mihailo Musikic, big 7-footer coming over from Serbia, has allegedly committed secretly to Kansas. This has been in the works. We mentioned him a couple of times. We brought it up with Ritter a couple weeks ago, talking about how if this is even possible. So there are some hoops that he has to jump through. And the big one is essentially the new NCAA rule of the 5-year running clock. So his birthday was actually March 25th, 2002. So that means that he is not going to be able to qualify under the NCAA's new 5-for-5 eligibility rules. He's 24 right now. His 19th birthday was more than 5 years ago. So that means he is not going to be able to be eligible. Now he can still, sue the NCAA or get a lawyer and find some judge to have some rules or whatever. To me, I think the NCAA is really going to be cracking down on this. And the NCAA, the reason they put this in is to give it an ironclad ruling to where if anybody tries to lawyer up and tries to, get that extra year of eligibility or whatever, then they're not going to get it because they have these ironclad rules now. So my confidence level in this is not super high, but it has been reported by a couple of industry sources that Mihailo Musikic has committed secretly to play for Kansas. If he's deemed eligible, he will come to Kansas. Nothing has been put to pen to paper yet, but that's where he wants to go, which is important, right? So he played professionally in Europe over the last 3 years, played for after the last few years, actually. He played for 3 different teams. Borac Mozart is the ABA League. Sluga Kraljevo, also Serbia KLS, and then Mladost Maxbet, Serbia KLS as well. So got bounced around there. Played most of the time for Sloga. I'm just going to call him Sloga.
Okay.
Played most of the time for Sloga, 17 games, 11 points per game, shot 69% from 2-point range. He had averaged 7 rebounds, 1.9 assists per game, just over a block per game. I mean, it's there. And when you're looking at Mihailo Musikic and in terms of where he would slot in for this Kansas squad, this guy, I can't imagine, would be a starter right away. This is more of a depth piece that you would utilize for Kansas whenever you have either A, injuries, or B, foul trouble, right? This, to me, and now granted, if he does get eligible and he does come to Kansas, would he be able to make an impact? Maybe. We'll see, right? And he does have some nice, numbers backing him up, right? I mean, if you look at over the 5 seasons in Serbia KLS, averaged 11.7 points per game, 53.2% from shooting from the field, 5.9 rebounds, 2 assists, 0.7 blocks per game. That's over his entire career. But over this past year with Sloga, again, about 11 points. So he's right around there. Nice player. And then this is against professional basketball players too. So this is a professional league that he was playing in. So putting up some pretty good numbers down there. But at the same time, coming over to Kansas and having the battle with Paul Mbia, having the battle with Christian Reeves, to me, again, this is going to be kind of a depth piece, a guy that you're not going to see 35 minutes from. This is a guy you're probably going to see more like 10 to 12 minutes from whenever Paul Mbia gets in foul trouble, maybe even early if you don't have Christian Reeves back 100% healthy or whatever that may be. So it's interesting. I guess apparently, according to these sources, things are moving forward and he is committed, but still the hoops to jump through in terms of the NCAA eligibility.
Yeah, and a lot of articles about this. Jayhawk Slant again, so we love Jayhawk Slant. We've had Sam Witten on the show. We've had Shea Wildeboer on the show.
You need to get Kirby on, too.
They're pointing out that, Musikic has committed to Kansas, but he has to qualify and be deemed eligible before arriving on campus. In order for that to happen, he's got some hoops to jump through. He is 24 years old. He's spent the multiple seasons that you've discussed playing professionally. But the coaching staff, as an article on SI.com points out, likely would not have pursued him if it didn't believe there was a realistic path to eligibility. So if he is ultimately cleared to play, he would provide KU with another experienced front court player. He's big. He's 7 foot, 230 pounds. I think no matter what, you and I feel okay about the bigs. I don't know if some of our guests feel the exact same, but we're both very high on Paul Mbia. Christian Reeves had the labrum surgery, so he might not be available at the beginning of the season. But we both like Paul Mbia a lot. We think he's going to make strides and big ones at that here in his sophomore season. Keanu Dawes, we would think would slide into that starting 4 position. And we also like the option of Kansas playing small to where you've got Mbia at the 5 or even Dawes at the 5, maybe Reeves at the 5, and you play Stokes at the 4. If that happens, then that's probably going to be a good thing. If that happens, that'll be a good thing for Kansas because that means that Blyden and Rosario have proven their worth as guys that need to be on the court. Dennis Parker Jr. as well, because you're going to have Kenny and Stokes out there. Pretty much with Kenny and Stokes and Dawes out there, Dan, that's if you go 30 minutes each, which honestly, past few years, maybe that's low, but you've only got 200 minutes to give.
Yeah.
There's 90 minutes. Stokes and Kenny and Dawes. So you got 90 minutes to give. You're probably given 50 to Rosario and Blyden. So there you're at 140.
Yeah. So
it comes down to the 5 spot. You have 60 minutes to give. You got 20 minutes, Paul Mbia. I mean, hopefully 25, So then you start talking about other possible ways that Kansas could do this from a roster standpoint because other guys are going to want to get some run as well. Davion Atkins, you don't think he's going to be a factor? I mean, everything we've heard about him is that he can play and make an impact here in his freshman season. You got Luke Barnett, who Leroy Blyden said is the second best shooter on the team behind him. Is he a guy that's going to get some minutes? Like, you don't have a ton of wiggle room, but it's understandable how KU is going out and they're focusing on the position group, I guess, that I don't want to say have the least amount of trust in, but probably the biggest question marks.
Yeah.
We think Mbia is going to make the big strides. We think Reeves is going to do what he's done throughout his career, which is being an elite rebounder on both sides. But you're probably not as confident saying that as you are. Stokes is going to be an impact player. Kenny's going to be an impact player. Rosario is going to make a big jump. Blyden's going to score a lot. Parker's going to be an impact guy in some way. So it makes sense that Kansas is approaching this looking for more depth up front.
Yeah, I guess in theory, right, you feel confident in the big men because in theory, Keanu Dawes can play the 5 because he had to at Utah, but he had to. His more natural position is the power forward position. In theory, Christian Reeves is going to be healthy. But if you look at this realistically, your only healthy position player at the 5 is Paul Mbia right now. Right now, the only healthy, serviceable option that you have at the 5, if you want to keep Dawes at the 4, which is his more natural position, is Paul Mbia. So it certainly makes sense that Kansas is going to go for a guy. And, you do have a good point of, Kansas wouldn't be pursuing him if they didn't think this was a legitimate shot, right? Again, who knows how the NCAA is going to go, if they're going to rule with an iron fist now because of this new eligibility rule or whatever that may be. But like I said, you have to put all of your eggs right now into the Paul Mbia basket. You're going to get 20, 25 really solid minutes out of Paul Mbia because he has to, right? Because he's essentially going to be forced to be put in that situation of, hey, you're all we got right now. You got to go out there. You got to be that dominant big. And look, here's the thing. Bill Self has had a laundry list of bigs who have been developed into all Big 12 caliber athletes, right? If you remember Udoka Azubuike, when he came in super raw, was coming down on everything, getting into foul trouble, not a great scorer. And then by the time he became a senior, now all of a sudden he has the NCAA record in terms of field goal percentage, and he was, All-American and all Big 12, all different stuff like that in terms of Udoka Azubuike, right? Jeff Withey is another great example, right? I mean, you go down the list of Kansas bigs and squeezing the most amount of talent out of them as possible. Flory Bidunga is also a great thing with that. I mean, he got substantially better. I mean, was he soft? Yeah, of course he was.
I've got two. Yeah, obviously he was soft. I've got 2 names of guys who were not soft at all, but fit in the category that you're talking about that came to mind. Thomas Robinson.
T-Rob, great, yeah.
Darnell Jackson.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I was reading one of Jason King's books, Beyond the Streak, Beyond the Fog, that I reference all the time, and I can't remember which teammate it was of Jackson's at KU, but they said, if you would have told me when he walked into the gym his freshman year that dude was going to be playing in the NBA someday, my jaw would have hit the floor.
Really?
You know, because he wasn't fit, he wasn't ready. And sure enough, Darnell Jackson got some run in the NBA. But that's a great point because that's what Bill Self in Kansas does. They get the most out of their bigs.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you have to trust that development, right? Because you've seen time and time again that it has worked. You keep on poking fun of me about how, like, I always say Paul Embiid is not ready yet. And will he be ready? I have the utmost confidence that Paul Embiid will be ready because of the track record that Bill Self has in terms of developing their big men. But you still need a healthy Christian Reeves to be able to come in for Paul Embiid, or vice versa. If Christian Reeves is going to be the guy and Paul Embiid is going to be the backup, you're still going to be splitting time with those guys because you're only going to get 20-ish, 25 good minutes out of both of those guys. You have foul trouble. You have, fatigue factor being put into this as well. So you're only going to get so much out of those guys. You need more. And that's why I think that Kansas is pursuing Mihailo Muzicic so hard, even though, as of right now, he's not eligible.
Yeah, we'll see what comes about here in the coming days, weeks. Who knows at this point? It wasn't until August last year, right, that KU officially got Ginyu Gala. And
True.
I'm curious, we haven't heard a lot regarding the point guard position if Kansas will add another depth piece. But, I mean, we've said for a while that we wouldn't be shocked if they do because right now at point guard, you've got Tay Kinney and then you've got Leroy Blyden, but you assume he'll play a lot at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stokes. Stokes could bring the ball up like Jalen Wilson did. But otherwise, Cole Rosario is not really going to be an on-ball guy, and you wouldn't think Dennis Parker Jr. is going to be an on-ball guy. So maybe there will be a point guard in the future for Kansas to add to their roster as well. But a lot of confidence, I'm sure, in both Kinney and Blyden. I'm excited to see those guys out there. And I had a guest on the show a couple weeks ago, Sam Lance. He likened Leroy Blyden in terms of type of player to Devontae Graham. Ooh. And I was like, I actually love that comp because a splashdown shooter, not very big, but kind of a pest defensively. So I'm going to use that a lot. And I want to shout out Sam for that because, I could see that. And I also could see him kind of becoming a fan favorite. That's a high bar. We know that. Devontae, one of the all-time favorite Jayhawks, one of the all-time best Jayhawks. But Leroy Blyden, we're pretty bullish on here at Kansas Nation. All right, more coming up on Rock Chalk Sports. Stick around. We've got Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, and the Lawrence Journal-World in studio. We've got KU Mailbag and much, much more. Thanks for listening on ESPN Kansas City and watching KansasNation.com. Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment, HeinenOPE.com. Partners of us here at Kansas Nation. Visit them at 1795 East 1500 Road in Lawrence. They also have a Valley Falls location. So if you're looking for tractors, power sports, trailers, lawnmowers, whatever it is, they've got you covered at Heinen Outdoor Power Equipment. Again, 1795 East 1500 Road here in Lawrence. All right, for the first time in 3 weeks, we bring on Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com and the Lawrence Journal-World. He was at Big 12 Football Media Days last week and joined us via Zoom, which was very kind on a very busy day. But he also came today, Dan, bearing gifts. Look at this. Look at that.
I know.
As people know, Big 12 Football Media Days was brought to you by Monster, who is now an official sponsor of the Big 12, a $20 million deal, which people have many thoughts on.
Now they just need to sponsor Kansas Nation.
They should. They should. Well,
I think
they're
I
going
said
to
that
be.
last week.
If I'll get 2 or 3 energy drinks and crack this open very soon. But no, excited for that. You also got some gifts as well. The birthday boy.
Yeah. Henry got me a couple of Sickos Committee stickers. I'm a big Sickos Committee guy, and a Union Jack Classic sticker. So I'm gonna put them on my either my computer or my water bottle. We had this discussion. You have a great sticker on your water bottle.
It's good. My friend Kyle is super into numismatics.
Of course.
And so when we went to Montreal
Shout out to Kyle.
And we went to Ottawa, the capital of Canada, he insisted that we go to the Mint. And so I have a sticker from my visit to the Royal Canadian Mint.
Yeah.
It's bilingual. But you will soon see that I have other eclectic stickers that I will soon be adding because I realize it's a little weird to have that be the one and only sticker.
Well, that's why I thought was so funny about it is that you have a water bottle and the one sticker that you have says "I visited the Royal Canadian Mint" on it. I was like, that is very Henry.
There's no lie. I did visit.
You did. That's amazing.
Henry,
just get that tattooed on yourself.
I like
just
that.
let everybody know.
Before Henry was at Big 12 Football Media Days, he was actually across the pond for a photo shoot for Vogue. What an experience! Did you expect in your career as a journalist that Vogue would say, hey, we're going to bring you over and we're going to do a one-man photo shoot to where you got to do all sorts of different poses? Is that right?
Sean's exaggerating a little bit. I was in Italy, and I was delighted to be part of a wedding that took place there that, may have been documented photographically.
Yes.
Yeah.
We mentioned that in the opening segment.
Henry made it into
Supermodel,
Vogue magazine.
Supermodel Paulina Porikova. I was close. I got it.
Porikova.
Okay, that Chris Courtwright is a big fan of and has been for 58 years.
Yes.
It sounds like. And Henry's dad, Jeff Greenstein, got married. That must have been an awesome experience being in Italy. Congrats to both of them. We got to meet them here a few months ago.
Nice
and
people.
great people, very kind. And hope you guys all had a great time.
Yeah, it was really nice to be over there. A great diversion. It was very hot, and I got bitten by a lot of mosquitoes. But it was it was a great time.
You
to
sure
be
you weren't in
Was it in
Kansas?
South Italy?
No, northern Italy.
Oh, really?
But it was really nice to experience all that, and a great time. Got to eat some delightful food as one does, and then went straight to Dallas.
Yeah, there you go, right?
Which some say is the Italy of America.
Yes,
A lot of people say that. I've heard that a lot.
Deep
me
in the
too.
heart. Deep in the heart. Well,
People
deep
won't
in the
shut
heart.
up about it.
I know.
we are glad that you're back, Henry, to talk all things KU with us. We broke down in the opening segment Musicic, this Serbian who supposedly is not just on the radar for KU, but some sources are saying that if deemed eligible, he will come to KU. Mihailo Musicic, he's 7 foot, 230 pounds, 24 years old. He's played some professional basketball. I know we don't have a lot of information on this, and there's things coming at both ears about this, but what are your thoughts on this? And I guess it says something, if anything else, that KU is still going after another big.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense given Christian Reeve's injury and the relative lack of experience that Paul Embiid has had, that they'd want to fill in more at the spot. As I was telling you guys right before we went on air, there have been multiple reports that he's committed and he'll join KU if deemed eligible. My source told me that nothing's done definitively, and that they are recruiting him, but nothing's done. So we'll see exactly how that proceeds. Of course, nothing could be formally done regardless because he's 24. We don't know if he's going to be eligible.
Right.
If it were under the past eligibility system, there's a chance he would be able to. And as you guys know, if you start your career this coming year, you can choose which eligibility model you prefer.
Okay.
So despite the fact that he was born in March of 2002, and so his eligibility clock would have started in the fall of 2021, making it have elapsed, that doesn't matter because theoretically he could still be eligible in the way that all sorts of international people have been deemed eligible in recent years.
Okay.
Now, even under the old system, there were requirements in terms of how long were you with pro teams, how much did they pay you, and so on. So that's how he'll be judged in this case, in all likelihood. But as for Mihailo Musicic, more in greater detail, he's from Serbia, he's from Kraljevo. He's played for like 1 million different teams in a very short career. I don't know if that's a red flag, but he has been all over the place. And he's had some really productive seasons. This one he was kind of coming off the bench for the I think the team he was on this year was called Borac Mozart or something.
Yeah.
He only had like 3.7 points and 3.4 rebounds, but he's had other years where he's got like 14 and 6 or whatever with various teams. Big and physical, lots of experience, even in such a relatively short career. He's played at the international level. There's a lot to like about it as just another body to have in the front court, another person who can help secure rebounds for what we think is going to be a really good team on the glass. But still, it sounds to me like a ways to go before this becomes a formalized addition, but it makes a lot of sense. I wonder about how prepared Christian Reeves will be for the start of the season. Not just because they did this, but like the idea that he's going to get back to practicing in full in October. You never know with these offseason injuries how long they can linger. So it would be really good for KU if they were able to add another body in the front court. And, even if they do get Musicic, they still have one more roster spot available as well. I don't know if they'd use it, but they could.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is so interesting because, all of it feels kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
There's a lot of words.
Covered, we're trying to dance around this because we've heard from many different sources that he's committed, but it's in secret because he's not eligible. And then you were saying that nothing has been done yet, but Kansas is still pursuing this. But I think that's the interesting part, is that Kansas is still pursuing this. I guess, what's your confidence level that he would be deemed eligible. And then on the flip side of it, like where are things at with Malik Ewan? From what I've heard from different sources, that's kind of cooled off as well because the confidence level in terms of him being eligible is not very high.
Well, every time I see a new tweet from Darren Heitner, I'm looking at these lawsuits. I'm looking to see if Ewan's name is in there because, especially if they put together a class action, he has very similar circumstances to a lot of the people. You look at the injunction in Ohio last week that some of those former Cincinnati and Xavier players got. Well, they're not in different situations much at all from that of Malik Ewan. So I've been looking, but yeah, it probably is. It's one or the other. Like they can't get both these guys really. So I have to think that pursuing one is a bit prohibitive, and I also think Malik Ewan would probably be more expensive.
Sure.
I think international players tend to cost less, especially those who aren't necessarily like on the forefront of, say, professional draft boards or anything. As for whether I think Mušić will be deemed eligible, it's really tough to say. You think about last summer when KU was looking for its international big guy. Think about how many names came up in the course of that summer that didn't end up amounting to anything. I can't remember. Did someone get Bryce DeSerre eligible this summer? Did he go over to LSU or something?
That's a name I haven't thought of in a long time.
Remember him though?
I think it is LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most recent article I've seen says LSU. Now, who knows?
Yeah, but
Will Wade's gotten everybody.
Point being, he's got everybody who's 26,
right?
And trying to play college basketball. Yeah. Or who's played in the G League.
Right.
But all that is it is a crapshoot with international talent just think about the work that KU's compliance officials have to go through whenever one of these things comes up, and the documentation written in the Cyrillic alphabet that they're probably having to transcribe.
Oh my gosh.
Just there's a lot involved in any of these, and I think it will be a challenge with Mušić because he's already 24 and he's already been playing, some of it was at the youth level, but he's been playing basketball in Serbia and Croatia and I think Montenegro at one point since 2018. So It's been a long time. So I have a feeling that it would have to be a pretty compelling argument to justify him getting anything more than 1 year of eligibility.
Sure. Well,
but we'll see what happens.
Because you had said it's not as much the age thing; it's more so him playing professionally for X amount of years.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Do you know what that?
I've heard it has to do with it has to do with specific amounts of money you received and whether they furnished you room and board and all sorts of things like that. Okay. I haven't looked at the rule book, but I know there are a lot of different factors involved, and international eligibility really is this kind of black box that no one can figure out. You just try your best and see what happens.
When we talk to you next week, Henry, we'll dive in as needed, I guess, to more of a roster outlook on KU basketball. But yeah, right now, a lot of hearsay. We have to wait and see on that front. All right, before we transition to football and baseball, the news that's been in the last week or so, let's talk Jayhawks hoops. It just came out earlier today that Mario Chalmers has been added to the roster. So a guard-heavy roster for Jayhawks hoops. First game is Tuesday night in Manhattan. Then they'll play Wednesday in Topeka. But yeah, you've got Frank Mason, Zeke Mayo, Marcus Garrett. Now you add Mario Chalmers. So you feel good about that. Who knows if Tyshawn Taylor will play, but he's an option as well. But it looks like, despite what I was worried about earlier this week, there's actually going to be a team and there's actually going to be games as expected, which you would think would happen when there's a $2 million prize.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because you think about and this is not a diss to anyone involved, but you think about the last couple years, practices, camps, meet and greets, they've been in the news a lot more in the lead up to maybe, but they're moving in silence this time around. So I actually like the team they're putting together. That's about as good of backcourt, excluding Devontae Graham or Devon Dotson or something. But that's about as good a backcourt as you could reasonably hope to put together for a tournament like this. And I actually really like the Omaha guard. What's his name? Tradeon something?
Yeah, Tradeon Hollins. Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw. He was the NCAA leader in steals one year, and he was the back-to-back Summit Defensive Player of the Year.
Nice nugget.
So he's legit. He was in the G League for a while. And I think the concern is most obviously that they don't have any of the numerous really good centers who went to Kansas. Frank said they were trying to get Doak, that clearly hasn't materialized yet. I imagine they don't have too much longer to try to put it together. I like the Washburn kid, Andrew Orr. He averaged like 20-something points a game in Denmark this year.
Yeah. Kid's a stud.
Yeah.
I covered him. I did a couple of TV games for Emporia State. And
so
he's really good.
There are worse players, but I feel like, in terms of potential front courts of KU players, like you could probably theoretically do better than Carlton Bragg and 40-year-old Darnell Jackson. Even though Darnell Jackson has been playing in the Big Three and doing well, and obviously Bragg's had a lengthy overseas career, and he also finished out his career at New Mexico after he left KU under strange circumstances. Sorry, I'm going into more detail here than was necessary, but suffice it to say, great backcourt, front court, maybe doing the best with what they have. I'm excited to see how it goes, though, because I think this team is just such a radically different roster than previous years. Anything's possible. And now you only need to win 5 games to win $2 million, as opposed to having to win 8 games to win $1 million.
Right.
So
true.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we certainly will. Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, the Lawrence Journal World. I'm going to be out there. Me and Henry are both going to be out
Bramlage,
there.
it'll be the octagon of something.
Yeah, the octagon of room is what I like to call it during the regular season when they're not playing Kansas.
Do you
a lot
have a
of
name
room
for
in there.
Lee Arena?
For Lee Arena?
Yeah. Does it have a nickname?
Arena.
I don't know.
I don't know. I doubt it. I like as much as I'm going to loathe being out in Bramlage, I'm going to loathe being at on Washburn's campus even more than that. You know how much I absolutely despise them.
Home of the Jayhawks.
Yeah, right.
Lee Arena.
Lee Arena, home of the Jayhawks.
Hey, they got AC.
Yeah, they do have air conditioning,
do.
so that's important. I want to talk a little bit of football with you. You obviously were at Big 12 Media Days. That was the last time we got a chance to chat with you, but we didn't get a chat about what was heard from Lance Leipold as well as the other 5 guys around there. Just talk about what you heard from them, and then an interesting thing, Lance, I heard in a breakout say specifically, we have, quote, 2 guys who we really like in the quarterback room. And it feels like we just keep on going around in circles. But that, to me, just kind of, eliminates one of them. And you have to – he didn't say names, I don't think. One would assume
but he later
might be –
he talked specifically about Cole and Isaiah.
Oh, did he?
Well,
okay.
at various times.
Sure. But he didn't say – which 2 guys? It could be Isaiah and Chase Jenkins. Who knows, right? But just your thoughts on the Lance comment, talking about the 2 guys, and then just overall in general what you heard from the KU football conglomerate.
Yeah, I mean, Chase is going to play this year, right? Like no one's under any illusions around the fact that Andy Konicki, he always likes to throw weird players out.
Fun
there.
little wrinkle.
Yeah. So
course.
we will see Chase Jenkins, but I don't think he's a serious contender for the starting spot right now. And of course, that's all anyone wanted to talk about, along with the Union Jack Classic, and for good reason, because I think that most would agree this team is more talented than last year's, except quarterback is as big a question mark as it is for any Big 12 team and for any Kansas team in recent memory.
Yeah.
Like, recent memory being the last 6 years.
Right.
And it's just a kind of a season where you feel like if they can get mid-level quarterback play, they could be really good, but it's just difficult to know what to expect out of either of those guys. So of course, we've heard a lot about what the players think about them. We know kind of the types of players they're viewed as being. We know Cole Ballard's kind of like a raw leadership guy, and we know that Isaiah Marshall, Trey Lathan said he runs like a gazelle.
Nice.
He runs like a gazelle. He's got great attributes. He's really respected for the way that he works in the locker room too, even if he isn't as maybe open and grand about it as Cole. But I don't know who they're going to end up choosing, and this is going to continue to be a question until probably like August 20th.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about this for another month. So
Can't wait.
And then otherwise, like there was a lot of discussion about the London game and how if you lose in the London game, the perception is that the entire rest of your season is a referendum on the London game, because you don't have to look far to see how K-State did last year and how Florida State did before that and how Navy did the year they were over there and how Nebraska did the year they were. That's all of them, right? That's all the Iowan games.
Sounds right, yeah.
I think I messed up the order there. But so obviously a lot of importance is going to be assigned to their performance in this one. And, ASU has questions at quarterback. but the people they're choosing between, and I'm not saying KU's aren't, but the people they're choosing between are like known entities at the like Mikey Keene and Cutter Boley are known entities at the Power Conference level. So that'll be a huge game because you look down the schedule, and I think you guys have talked about this, but if they don't win that one, it could get late early, as they say, in terms of the schedule. Because you come back and you have Middle Tennessee after a bye, but then you go at Utah and at K-State.
Yeah,
it's
tough
a
little
really
2-game road stretch.
The whole schedule is tough, and that's why I keep telling people this team could prove to be better, but they could also not have a better record because the schedule is set up in such an unfavorable way. I've deviated a lot from what you were originally asking about with regard to media days, but really, like, you know, we heard a lot about depth. I think Lance Leipold has really like developed a theory that having people play too many snaps probably has to do a lot with why they've worn down in the fourth quarters of games. And, you know, I wrote an article a little about this, and the example I used was Trey Lathan said he played 77 snaps against Missouri. He said at the end he's like, man, I really got to get up again, like every time he gets knocked down, because they didn't have anyone else to play middle linebacker.
Right.
Well, this year, it sounds like Quincy Davis will be able to slide into that spot. We don't know if he's going to be the starting weak side linebacker or if he's going to be a reserve at both spots. It kind of depends on whether Bam Crouch is a starter. But with a reserve who we've heard such great things about, you feel a lot better than last year when Joe Sipp was hurt, and then their next then they didn't really have like other solid options at middle linebacker besides that. So that's just one example. I think it's much the same at cornerback and safety. You know, I think I was hoping to get an answer from Leipold about Trayvon McAlpine. He said he had talked to Trent Carter about it recently and would have more information at the start of camp. That's an injury that could, that's an injury that could have a lot to say about how effective their defensive line is. There's an argument to be made he's like a top 2 transfer that they brought in. I mean, I'm not sure who you guys would. Nick McMillan, probably.
Yeah, probably number 1. But I mean, Trayvon McAlpine, though. I mean,
they have other great D tackles, but this is a guy who's played in the Big 12, who was all conference for a college football playoff team last year at Tulane. They could really use him, especially because he's a nose tackle kind of guy, and they like to run those multiple fronts. So I'm really hoping we can get some more concrete information on him soon. You know, KU football posted a photo of him on weightlifting on the account. And players like Trey Lathan and Blake Harreld mentioned him readily and in detail like he was going to be someone who was going to play. The rumors on the injury are bleaker than that, but we'll see what happens. But that's about it. I don't think it was like the number 1 most informative media days of all time, but the players were great in the interviews. They were all extremely courteous and talked at length. Great talking to Leroy Harris. I think he can become one of the best pass rushers in the Big 12.
Oh, yeah.
I think national people are sleeping on a lot of players on the KU defense in particular. But we'll see what happens. A lot still remains to be determined about this year's team.
Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, LJWorld.com. Henry, before we get you out of here, got to talk baseball. A word on the 4 KU players that got drafted, and we know that there were more who wanted to get drafted, but it works out well for Coach Fitz from a roster standpoint that you've got a lot of talent coming back. We've seen Manning West, Bodie Ray, Augusto Mungarieta, Cade Baldridge. They've gone on Twitter. They've said they're coming back. Dylan Schlotterbeck might be back as well. So, you know, we'll see. But Tyson Owens is coming back. I mean, we were talking about this the other day. I'm like, man, you want to go out and you want to get an all-world type player in Tyson LeBlanc because, you know, everything that he did for the program you cannot understate. But when you look at it, that's 3 guys in your top 5 of your lineup, I would say, that are coming back, and Coach Fitz just hasn't had that. So 4 departing Jayhawks to the MLB draft, but bringing back a lot of talent. Yeah,
Manning West will also be back, and then Schlotterbeck will be. I don't know if KU Base will put up a video that was like running it back, and they had Schlotterbeck in it. Won't it be cool, by the way, if he gets to play with his brother after his brother's heart surgery?
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Right.
If
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's been in the Northwoods doing pretty well. Gavin has. So check out my story about that from last year if you haven't read it. But as for the draft itself, you know, it was kind of interesting. All 3 of those guys went higher than consensus, and I think that speaks well to the scouting of the MLB teams and speaks well to what those guys put on tape. LeBlanc went at 61, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the highest I saw him in a big board was like 90. So that's really cool. Now, of course, there's a lot of machinations that go on in terms of trying to pay guys under slot value or whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows exactly what the motivations are of teams when they draft certain people. I know this was discourse that happened with the Royals when they drafted that guy.
Zion Rose, yeah.
But
He's projected to go 30. They got him at 6.
yeah. But incredible season for LeBlanc. Vaguely, I know sometimes KU fans probably got annoyed at his inconsistency, but he has all the tools. He has the perfect mental makeup. He's going to be playing professionally for a long time. Ballinger, if he can unlock something more like the form he showed as a sophomore, he'll have a lengthy career. And then Nayrall, that's like an upside pick.
Yeah.
He has the frame, and he had games where he was dominant. You guys have talked about the Cincinnati game. He wasn't reliably like that every week, and I think that 4 1/3 scoreless against West Virginia flatters him a little bit, given what the defense did in that game.
Right.
But great career, and it's inspiring for him to only be the 3rd French player ever drafted, looking to be the first to make the major leagues. That's really cool because he's got like a country behind him. So that's pretty cool. As for the foundation for next year, I think it's great. As we all experience, it's hard to know exactly who's going to be on the baseball team because there's not too many publicly listed things of all the commitments, even though I've tried to remedy that with some of my articles. But also, sometimes people who have committed are quietly told to go elsewhere, or they voluntarily decide to go elsewhere, and then you never know if they're really going to do that. So, but I think the foundation they have for next year with all those returning players is really good. And I don't know if you guys, with your team, the Woodchucks, I don't know if you've seen how Ryan Chase has been doing, but he was an all-star, and he looks really promising as probably KU's first baseman next year. So keep an eye on that. And by the way, I'm sure we'll be hearing about undrafted signings for guys like Josh Dykoff and Dariel Osoria, Jordan Bach in the near future as well.
Yeah, well, I love the Northwoods League, as you know. This is the 3rd year for Gavin Schlotterback's team, the Badlands Big Sticks. What a great team name up there. I mean, so many good ones. Obviously,
shout out to
Woodchucks.
Dickinson, North Dakota.
Chuck,
yeah, man. Chuck it. Woodchucks. God, what a great and weird summer that was for me covering.
I didn't even mention
Wisconsin
Birkland,
Woodchucks.
Jake Birkland.
Oh, yeah, he got drafted in the 19th round, didn't he?
Yeah, I texted him to see if he's going to side, but he hasn't written back.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Fair enough.
I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Fair enough. Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, LJWorld.com. Bearing gifts today. What a guy to be thinking of us when he was deep in the heart of Texas at Big 12 Football Media Days. Check out all of his work on KUSports.com. Henry, thanks again for coming in, and we'll chat next week. Then pretty soon we're going to have games to talk about again. Let's go.
Games, yes.
GAMES.
Yes.
Games.
What a thought. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. All right, more coming up here on Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. You know the feeling. The Fieldhouse gets loud, the chant starts low, and the Jayhawks bring the energy. That's Lawrence. Ameritrust Credit Union thinks your money deserves that same feeling. A team in your corner that's pulling for you, win or lose, season after season. Financial well-being isn't just something they offer, it's why they exist. First car, first home, first business, whatever's next in your money story, they're right around the corner at 6th and Wakarusa in West Lawrence. Real people making real decisions locally. Ameritrust Credit Union is the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Stop by the branch or visit ameritrust.org, federally insured by the NCUA. Last night was the American League victory in the All-Star Game last night. The first shutout in 13 years, otherwise known as the first shutout since 2013. I thought that was weird. That was 13 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, 4-0.
I like that.
Kind of a lame game. I'm not going to lie. It sucked. There was only
boring.
There was only one extra base hit. It was Miguel Vargas hitting a 433-foot homer in the 8th inning, which I thought might swipe the MVP away from Cody Bellinger, who to that point had done more than anybody. And I guess, he eventually gets the MVP. He's still
the reason I think
did more than anybody.
The reason I think that is because, now granted, he had 2 RBIs on a single, which is bases loaded.
Game-winning hit.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But Miguel Vargas hit the home run in the 8th, but I saw them putting out the, hey, vote for MVP in like the 5th and 6th
that is
and
a thing.
7th inning.
That is a
so
thing.
like I would imagine that the fan vote had already gotten on Bellinger early until and Vargas hit that home run late where I don't.
Right.
I think more people already vote. A lot of people already voted at that point.
That being said, I think of the 2 choices, if you were going to give it to an offensive player, Bellinger was the right one.
Oh, sure.
Even though the homer is cooler and it was the only extra base hit in the game. Because Bobby was up and he had an awesome at bat. It was 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in the top of the first.
Yeah.
Down in the count 0-2. against Christopher Sanchez, who, as we know, is the Royals' kryptonite after they just unloaded on him at the K a couple weeks ago. Bobby worked the count full and eventually walked, which set up Bellinger, who weirdly has been one of the best left-handed hitters against lefties of our lifetime, honestly. He's very good lefty on lefty. And then Ben Rice, a fellow Yankee and a fellow lefty, got an RBI hit. And then Vargas provided the insurance in the 8th inning. As the AL won
Rice
4-0.
wound up hitting Bobby in because Bobby was at first.
Yep.
And then that moved him to third. The Bellinger hit did because bases were loaded.
Yeah. The story of the game, though, and this is where, picking a MVP is difficult. The starting pitcher's never going to get the MVP. A pitcher in general is never going to get an MVP.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is, but pitchers are more often than not going to go an inning or less in the All-Star game. And that was the case. Dylan Cease, who's had a great first half and was pretty nasty, started the game for the All-Star game. And then 10 relievers combined, an 11-pitcher shutout as the AL uses the offense that they got from Bellinger, Rice, and Vargas to win it. And American League was actually not the favorite in this game, but they got it done. And, Bobby ended up having another at-bat, grounded into a fielder's choice. Michael Wacha, your boy, he had a scoreless third inning as well, a couple strikeouts. That was nice to see.
Yeah, he had 2 strikeouts, didn't he? 2 strikeouts,
Yep.
and then a grounder, I think, is what it was. But really impressive stuff by the American League. 15 strikeouts overall by the American League. 27 strikeouts in total throughout this game. Kind of a pitcher's duel, and that just goes to show you that the pitching has been so much better over the over the last. I would say like 10, maybe even like 5 years. Like the pitching has just gotten, like the velocity's higher. The movement on the ball is a lot better from a lot of these different guys. I think they should bring back juiced balls. I want to see exciting baseball again. That's what I want to see. The pitchers are too damn good. I don't want to see a 4-0 All-Star game. You know what I want to see? I want to see 20-18. That's what I want to see.
I'm sure the players want to see a 4-0 All-Star game because then they can leave.
Yeah, I guess
I wonder
that's
how
true.
many of them, and good job whoever told Cody Bellinger to keep your uniform on and hang around,
Right.
Because you never know, you might get MVP for this one. Because as
some
we
of those
talked
guys,
about last year, we talked about that at the Derby. Like, why wasn't Kyle Schwarber in the swing off? Those guys done gone.
Yeah.
I mean they are
left.
not there. They leave. I told a story once. I think it was last year when we were talking about it. 2012 All-Star Game in Kansas City. I had the opportunity to go. It was like the 4th or 5th inning. I was a photo runner, and I was in the tunnel of the concourse, and I look up and I see Matt Kemp, former Dodgers. He's leaving.
Wow,
I mean, he has
that's
changed.
crazy.
He started the game. He had changed. He is leaving.
Which it's granted, like it's their off. Like it's probably
like we talked about. Yeah,
it's probably more of an inconvenience to be an all-star because like they'd probably
Absolutely.
rather not be an all-star and just take the week off. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, which Vladimir Guerrero opted to do. But yeah, they don't get a lot of time to be with their family and get a break. So you definitely can understand that. Granted, you go to the All-Star game and you have an opportunity to win the MVP. Not a bad night for Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
And again, you get treated like absolute gold. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
there's 2 sides to every coin. One side is, I just want to go home Sunday, get me out of here, and I'll see you guys back at the park on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
But the other side is you're going to go, you are going to get whatever you want.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I'm sure, 7th or 8th time it gets to a point where you're like, I just want to go home for a few days. But yeah.
Well, Bellinger hadn't been to a All-Star game in 7 years. I mean,
And he wouldn't
Bellinger
have
was
started.
so good.
He wouldn't have started, but injuries to Aaron Judge and Byron Buxton
That's right.
put him in that spot.
Yeah, because Bellinger started. It was with the Dodgers, right? Dodgers and then Cubs and then Yankees. Am I right about this?
Did he start with the Dodgers? That sounds right. It was
I think
Dodgers,
it's right.
Dodgers, Cubs, Yankees.
Because he went like to 2 or 3 All-Star games with the Dodgers, and then just didn't do anything for the last 7 years. Went to the Chicago Cubs, did okay, but not All-Star worthy, and then finally he's able to come back, and he's like in his lower 30s. He's like 31 or 32 now, and this is, like I said, the first All-Star game for him in 7 years, and able to win MVP. So good for him. I think that probably meant more to him. Just being able to get back to the All-Star game, not only get back, but also win an MVP and get this 2 RBIs.
I need to ask you for your professional opinion on this because I noticed both Tom Verducci and Ken Rosenthal did this. When they were interviewing the players on the field before or after the game, they spoke in very long sentences and took. Have you seen Zootopia?
Yes.
The sloth?
Yeah, the sloth.
That's what it was. I'm
That's
like,
what it
dude,
felt like?
spit it out.
Yeah.
Like, they're like,
It's
Bryce,
horrible.
you're here tonight with your family. What does this mean? I'm like, spit out your question,
Yeah,
man. Like, I understand it's their time to shine, too.
yeah.
But that's what I felt
Let's
like
get this going.
watching
Well,
those.
did you like the on-field stuff too? I mean, they had it was Schwarber.
PCA.
Schwarber had
PCA, an all-time a favorite of Tyler Brewer behind the camera. He's a
that's
great
right.
guy. He's having an unbelievable year.
Great
He's
guy.
hitting 374, I think, since June 1st. I mean, have a day, kid.
Man, right? He's so good. But I saw Kyle Schwarber. They were in his ear while he was at bat, by the way.
I would not like that.
And he kept on swinging. He had 2 strikes. I think he wound up grounding out in that one. But every time he swung the bat, the earpiece would fall out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's
That'd be
wait for
annoying.
him to get it back out. And then there'd be like 4 seconds of dead silence.
Yeah.
You put it back in and be like, sorry, guys.
I understand.
And he's back to bat.
Yeah.
It's like,
It seems like it's mostly outfielders when they're in the field, which I
Yeah.
get, but I also would understand not wanting to do it because, like, PCA, I mean, you could tell
yeah.
you're trying to be casual out there. You're trying to give thoughtful answers and all that.
Yeah.
But also, like, you don't have a ton of time to react, and you
Right.
certainly don't on the infield. So
Well, they had Bobby doing it too when he was in the infield. Like outfield makes sense, like you could do that. But when you're batting, when you're actually batting,
that's
like
crazy.
I would be like, "Hey, Ken, shut up! Like,
Yeah.
don't talk to me right now.
Right.
I'm kind of in the middle of something, buddy.
yeah.
Like if you're in the outfield, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a little interesting. But again, it's always fun to watch the old Midsummer Classic. I guess
It is.
is what it's called. But yeah, Christopher Sanchez, man, that's a
tough scene.
tough
Case of the
scene for him.
Mondays
Case of the Mondays. Again, I don't know if I'm in the minority of this. I wish that the All-Star Game would still determine home field advantage.
You're in the minority. You know why? Because they take out the best players.
see?
You are voted as an all-star, the best player, starter, but then you're going to come out no matter what. If it's for that important,
It makes it more competitive.
but not really because they still take out the best players. Like
guess.
Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani shouldn't be on the bench. If
It
the
puts
World
more
Series,
on it.
I
Like, it's-
agree, but it
You also don't
tactically,
know if they're going to be in the.
if they do that, then they need to play the starters pretty much the whole game, or manage it like you would a normal game.
I don't know.
Which people don't want because they want to see their favorite players from their favorite teams. And anyway, but yeah,
more at
second
stake.
half starts tomorrow. Just one game tomorrow on the MLB slate: Phillies and Mets, and then a full slate on Friday. Dan, you know I'm not going to let your birthday pass by without giving you a little cup check here on Rock Chalk
of course.
Sports.
Little birthday
We're
cup
going to
check.
talk about the game today, Argentina-England, on tomorrow's show, but we got to talk about Spain-France. How about the Spaniards, man? Defensive prowess. They get it done 2-0. A huge margin of defeat for the French. In fact, it's their worst margin of defeat in a World Cup game since I don't even know. I saw that somewhere. I was like, really? It was 2 goals. But yeah, that's
no
how
kidding.
it was. It was so interesting though because Spain absolutely denied France pretty much everything, despite France having a lot of decent opportunities. I mean,
Yeah.
France had, I'm going to double check this, in terms of corners, I think I saw it was 6-1. France had 6 corners, so they had great
7-1.
opportunities. 7-1 it ended up. 19 touches in the opposition's box, but they weren't able to get any big chances created. They had none. They did amazingly end up with 3 shots on goal. That number was 0 until like the 85th minute.
Yeah.
They got 10 shots. Spain got 10 shots, but Spain gets a couple goals, and they close it out. Goals in the 22nd and the 58th. They are on to the World Cup final.
Yeah, people are talking about Kylian Mbappe, which I mean, he's still, one of, if not the, as of right now, greatest player in the world right now. But, didn't really get a lot of chances against Spain. And Spain is obviously a really good team. Yamal is a fantastic player. Again, he didn't even score in this one. You had a couple of other guys score for Spain. But, it's going to be interesting. I hope we get a couple of more World Cups out of Kylian Mbappe. I feel like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi has kind of ruined that for everybody just because it's like, oh, all these guys can play until they're 40. It's like, not really. Like, Mbappe's 27. I mean, you get 2 more World Cups out of him, you're probably feeling okay. And he's probably, more than likely going to wind up being the all-time leader in terms of World Cup goals. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But, I thought Spain just completely dominated this game from the get-go, and really good defense. Like you said, it was 7-1 corners and just not able to get anything for France. So congratulations to Spain. I can't remember. Did I say Spain and I think I said Spain and England?
I picked Spain to win it, and you picked England to win it when we broke
right.
down this bracket. So, again, we'll
That's
have
right.
coverage the next couple days on Rock Chalk Sports on how that's going to look.
I just want a Kansas City-based team to win it. So whoever it is between Argentina and England, it's going on. It's already happened. We're recording this show. Whoever it is, I'm going to be rooting for them. But I'm going to be rooting for England. I think that they deserve it, man.
Yeah, give me the Spaniards.
Argentina won it. Argentina won the last one. England hasn't won it since 1966.
We'll see if it's coming home or not.
We'll see.
Again,
I know
you guys probably already know the answer.
Probably isn't great radio because, again, we're pre-recording the show and the match is already over. But
we will talk about it tomorrow. But after this
will.
KU Mailbag segment, we're going to hear from all of you guys. Thanks to everybody, as always, for sending in your comments and questions to us here at Rock Chalk Sports. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. With Jayhawk Checking from Central Bank, Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card, a simple way to show school spirit every day. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. As the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. Learn more about Jayhawk Checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. jayhawkchecking.com, Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. KU Mailbag segment. We're going to get right into this. We were talking about Musicic, the 7-foot Serbian, Mihailo Musicic, who might be playing for Kansas this next season. We don't know. We'll let you know when we hear anything legitimate on that front. But Berg says off the jump, what all does the NCAA have to approve to get Musicic to play? Very interesting because he is 24, and it's the whole 5 and 5. When does the clock start situation? Guys playing professionally. Kind of a mess.
Yeah, so Henry did a really good job of breaking that down. So essentially, if you're playing this year, you can either have the new rule or the old rule apply to you. So he's going to be one of those ones that's grandfathered in, but it's all in terms of how much money he was paid, how many years did he play professionally. So there are some other different hoops to jump through, which to me could be something that, is easier to get around as opposed to the new, quote, ironclad 5-year rule, because essentially he falls under the category of whichever rule benefits him the most is what he'll be able to do. So who knows how many years he'll get. If he gets 1 year with Kansas, that's fine, whatever. That's great. If he gets multiple years with Kansas, or if he gets none, right? So we don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And, Henry even said that his source had talked about how there is nothing that's been confirmed yet. Nothing, he hasn't committed yet. Kansas is still obviously pursuing him. So interesting on that front. A lot of, conflicting sources. So we'll kind of keep you up to breast, as I like to say, on all things on this Mihailo Musicic guy.
Very interesting. Colin wants to know, what is your most memorable birthday? Here you go. Is it today? Because you got a free sandwich from our friends over at Jimmy John's?
Maybe. Speaking of Jimmy John's, I think your sandwich is ready.
You think?
Sean.
Do you want me to run out? Look at that. My sandwich is here. Oh, my gosh. Okay, this
Shout
is a free
out.
plug
Shout
for
out to
Jimmy
George,
John's.
man.
Jimmy
That's
John's,
awesome.
thank you very much. I got
Look at
number
that.
11. Jimmy John's, our friends over here on Mass Street, 922 Mass Street. Check them out.
Check them out.
Yes, it is toasted, and I can tell.
Oh, man.
Great sandwich pull,
That's
my
so
man.
awesome. I saw him holding it. I was like,
So we have like 2-minute breaks, as you guys know, and I ran over there in between the last segment and this segment, and very much was like, oh man, the sandwich isn't ready. First of all, I have no idea when I'm going to eat it, but I was like, man, it's not
a
ready.
couple of bites between
look
the
at
two
that, Look at
minutes.
that service, man.
That's
big time.
good service. Did you pay for extra for delivery on that, or
I didn't have to.
Man,
How about that?
What a guy!
Yeah.
What a guy! Shout out to George over at Jimmy John's. What is my most memorable birthday? My most memorable birthday, I think, is my 19th birthday because I went skydiving. That is a very memorable one. Let's see. My 21st birthday actually didn't. I got a beer with my dad because it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was working. I was actually mowing lawns. I think I might have taken that day off, but everybody else that I knew was working that day. So wound up going to Las Vegas that weekend though, with my parents, and my sister got married out there. I performed the wedding. I married my sister.
Yes.
So
And then I married you.
that was it. Yes, that was a memorable birthday. Is me officiating my sister's wedding out in Las Vegas. But that wasn't my actual birthday. That was like the 19th or the 20th or something. But on my 19th birthday, I did go skydiving, so that was a lot of fun. I had a couple of really good ones at Chuck E. Cheese, like my 25th and 26th birthday with Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Bowling
Dave
was
and
always
Buster's.
a classic.
Yeah.
I never went to Dave and Buster's for a birthday. What was your most memorable birthday you've ever had?
It's probably got to be my 21st, man.
You remember
Vegas,
that?
Went to Vegas. It was my birthday's at the end of February, and we were going for March Madness, and my dad had gone a lot, and my brothers were going. I mean, so much fun. I love Vegas. I've had great times. My bachelor party was in Vegas, but 21st, it was during the tournament, and it was the 2012 tournament. Kansas was a 2 seed. Missouri was a 2 seed.
Oh, yeah.
Best team Missouri's ever had. They lose to a 15 seed, Norfolk State.
That's right.
And I remember I was watching that at the bar at the Flamingo, just going crazy, so happy they lost. And then KU.
Wait, I thought on your 21st birthday you were at the T-Rob game. Or no, is that...
That was exact. So that was my 21st birthday. You're right.
That was the day of the 21st birthday.
I should have specified that, yeah.
Right.
My birthday, the actual day, that'll never be topped.
Right.
It'll never be topped because it was the T-Rob game, the last KU Mizzou game at Allen Fieldhouse that actually mattered. And we were down 19 two separate times, came back and won. It was epic. But then the celebration was in Vegas 3 weeks later.
Of course.
KU beat Detroit Mercy when, the same round that Missouri lost. And then KU almost lost to Robbie Hummel and Purdue. They came back and won, but boy, would it have ruined our trip if they would have lost to the 10 seed Purdue. KU would go on to the Final Four and lose in the national championship game, but that was awesome. My 30th birthday was great. My wife had this little book made for me. That was very cute. But birthday is always fun because it's like the whole day feels so special.
Sure. I agree, but also like as I get older, like my birthdays are just kind of whatever. Like it's not, I think like through high school, and granted I have a summer birthday, so I never really got to experience like a birthday at school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it would be like pool parties, or you go bowling, or you go to Chuck E. Cheese, and like you have your parents call your friends' parents and invite them over and all that different kind of stuff. Yeah. But I mean, like, as you get older, especially like out of college, like your birthday is just like, it's a birthday.
It's still fun though. I mean, like my girls will like draw, they'll draw pictures from, or bring you a donut in bed or something, stuff like that.
Sure.
That's cute.
It's
always fun.
That's nice. My dogs have never done that. My dogs have never made me breakfast in
rude.
bed. Which
is so rude.
Just unfortunate.
Your wife makes you dinner a lot lot, though.
She does. My wife also
Shout
made
out.
me an egg biscuit with jelly on top this morning. It's
Fire.
very good.
Fire.
Very,
You ever had
very-
jalapeno jam?
No, but it sounds great.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
Cody says, what are the best ages to turn and worst ages to turn?
All right, let's start with best. So I talked about my concerns for future birthdays before. I want you to put my mind at ease, but let's go best first. I mean, best 16, 18, 21.
Yeah.
Those are the three.
Right.
I'd say 10. I remember my 10th birthday vividly because I was at the bowling alley, and I was like so psyched to be in double digits.
All the birthdays from age like 3 to like when you start to understand what a birthday is, 3 to 21 are awesome. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, you get cake and you get balloons and all that, and then you get older. And I remember playing like poker games with my high school buddies,
Right.
and playing pool or going to a game. I don't know. All that's great, but
Sure.
I don't know, man. The birthdays are great. You only get so many
for
of them.
sure. Oh, I also forgot. My dad, through high school, would take us to Royals games for my birthday.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. There was like a 4 or 5 year stretch where we went to Royals games.
A week after your birthday, probably.
Yeah, it
All-Star
was
break
either like the
weekend.
week before or the week after because
They
the
really
All-Star
need to
break was
change the
always around
MLB
there.
schedule, man.
Yes,
It's BS
I know.
for you.
For me specifically,
Tyler?
What are the worst ages to turn?
Oh, worst ages to turn. God, I don't know.
So like my 25th, I'd say actually probably 26th birthday was a tough one because that
Then
was
you're closer to
officially
30.
Yeah, I was officially
Yeah.
on the back end of my 20s.
Yeah.
That one was rough.
I haven't had any bad ones yet, man.
So, but like, okay, when you turn 29, I want you to put my mind at ease. Like 29 wasn't that bad for you? Understanding that you only had one more year in your 20s?
And I thought 30 was going to be a big deal, but I remember waking up on my 30th birthday and I felt the same.
Okay.
I was like, I'm the same guy.
All right.
My life's not over.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
You'll be good. It's all about mindset, kiddo. It's all about mindset.
26 was a tough one for me because again, that was like, oh god.
I kind of remember that too. And you're at the age
yeah.
where you're like, I actually have to get my life together.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like out. You know, you're like, oh crap, like I'm off my parents' health insurance.
Yeah.
Like that's another one for 26 too.
Right.
I'm on the back end of my 20s. I'm closer to 30 than I am to my teens. Like it's just that was a rough one for me. Tyler says, you get one crunchy snack for the rest of your life. What is it?
Ooh, only get one crunchy snack.
Crunchy.
So that's like crackers, potato chips. You would probably go with celery.
Oh, why would I do
You're a
that?
changed man, dude. You're drinking NA beer.
You
I'm
bought
gonna
it
go
for me. I've never drank NA
with,
beer in my life.
So you got to take into account like any chips and dip, like tortilla chips and buffalo chicken
Sure.
dip, salsa.
See, but those don't count.
They do. It just has to be
Crunchy
okay.
snack.
My choice is a tortilla chip. Yeah.
Oh, because of its versatility.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. No, I like that.
I don't know though. Then you're giving up so much. I'm a big salt and vinegar guy.
Yeah.
Gun to my head, I'm probably going Cheez-Its, the regular Cheez-Its.
Yeah. No dipping. No dipping. Just
wouldn't be able to dip.
Just crunchy.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
you can
crunchy.
dip whatever
You're
you
going
choose.
Cheez-Its?
I'm going Cheez-Its.
I like the Cheez-It breath. Like you know what I mean? Like you eat
Cheez-It
Cheez-Its and then after you eat Cheez-Its, you get the Cheez-It breath.
I'm not familiar.
It doesn't feel, I don't know, maybe that's a me thing.
I think that's a you thing.
I just don't like the way that, I love Cheez-Its.
Are you going Pringles?
Don't get me wrong. I'm actually not
Are you
even-
going onion rings?
I'm not going to go Pringles. Not going to go onion rings. I'm going to go with a crisp French fry. That's a crunchy snack. It can be a crunchy snack. Don't roll
That's
your
cop-out.
eyes.
That's
He
cop-out.
rolled his eyes at me. That's a crunchy snack.
Good
It can
question,
be.
good question.
You don't like, okay, I don't want soggy fries. I want crispy, crunchy fries.
All right.
What about chicken tenders?
No chips.
Crunchy?
That's not a snack though. That's a meal.
Oh, I can.
And the fries isn't really. I guess fries could be a snack, but
fries
they
can be
would
a
have to
snack.
be crunchy.
All right, fine. What about like
Pickles.
chunky chocolate chip cookies? It's
No.
crunchy. How? That's
You're,
crunchy.
you're veering too
That's
far.
crunchy.
Off. All
I'm-
right,
I'm
let's-
trying to
let's
think outside the
let's
box.
Get back to the sports
All right,
questions
fine.
here, Elliot. I saw this one actually last night.
FanDuel,
Elliot and
yeah.
I. It's like one mind.
Shout out to Elliot, by the way. We played pickup basketball.
You guys did.
And we beat a Serbian and a Lithuanian. Yeah, that's right. We beat Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, there was an actual Serbian and Lithuanian. I met up with Elliot. Shout out to Elliot over at Rock Chalk Park, and we beat him 2v2. Elliot's a good 3-point shooter.
It's good to know.
Shout out to you. He says, which one are you choosing? This is from FanDuel, by the way. It has them all listed, but this is an interesting question. So, option number one, you can only pick one. You can only pick one of the two options that you have. Number one, World Cup, College Football Playoff, NBA Playoffs, WNBA Finals, and the Masters. That's one side. Option two, NFL Playoffs, MLB Playoffs, March Madness, Stanley Cup, Kentucky Derby.
Dude,
right away,
it's not even a question for me.
you think it's not even close? Are you going with option two? Because you got March Madness and you have the NFL playoffs.
I'm going with option two because I've got March Madness and
And
I've got
MLB.
the NFL playoffs. I also love the MLB postseason. What I would forfeit, the big ones I would forfeit would be,
College football playoff.
the college football playoff. I get that. You got to give something up. The
Yeah.
World Cup, but you know what? I've got the Olympics and the
True.
Masters, but you know what? I've got a ton of other golf tournaments.
That's fair. You can always watch the Open, but the Masters, there's something about the Masters that's just like romantic.
So you're going one?
almost. Nah.
Anything with March Madness, I was picking.
See,
you
that's
could
the
put
thing,
the
is like,
bottom four with March Madness, and I would go with March Madness.
I think the gravity that the NFL playoffs and March Madness holds is bigger than the college football playoff and the NBA playoffs and the World Cup for me. I do love the Masters. Kentucky Derby's whatever.
NFL playoffs and March Madness being in the same is
Yeah,
tough
I
to-
think that's like there's no and then like you also have MLB postseason in there too.
right.
But I do like watching the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
And I like watching the college football playoff. Like that, like I am more of a college football guy than I am an NFL guy. That's the thing. But also you have March Madness in the other one. So I'm going I think I'm with you and I'm going with option two. But it's not as cut and dry as you made it out to be. You're like right away.
Right away, man.
Number
I
two.
see March
Okay.
Madness. I'm going with it.
Fair enough. And it said if you could add just one other playoff or sports season to your chosen group, what would it be? College football playoff.
Well, no, I think he means
Other?
Yeah.
Other.
like Wimbledon or something like that.
Ooh.
Nick
Springer would pick Tour de France.
Right. College World Series could be
That's good.
in consideration. One other playoff or sports season.
Because you already have Stanley Cup. You already have Kentucky Derby.
Give me Feast Week.
Ooh, that's the
not a
right.
playoff,
That
but
might be
give
the
me Feast
right
Week.
pick.
Yeah.
Or just
Give me
like
the full
bowl
week.
games in general.
Yeah.
Just give me all the bowl games.
The old-fashioned bowl
I
games,
think I
when
go.
guys would actually play.
Yeah, I go all bowl games. I mean, that's postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to pick one.
That's right.
Like, I don't know, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl or whatever. Can I just pick? I'm going to pick all bowl games. John says, "What's your dream NIL sponsorship?" I have one, and it's because of its versatility. Walmart. If I just get anything free from Walmart for the rest of my life, I'll never need to buy anything again. Probably, right?
You probably think I'm going Monster.
Yeah, I think you'd go Monster energy drinks.
No, give me Busch Light.
Busch Light. So you didn't even like Busch Light. Your favorite, I mean, the
It'd be
best,
tough to be
the
a
best
college
tasting beer
athlete.
to you is Michelob Ultra.
It'd be tough to be a college athlete and be sponsored by Busch Light, though. But if I'm just me, Busch Light.
Yeah, that's fair. They could use my name, image, and likeness. I think that'd be fine.
Anything related to pizza would be good.
Sure, like Minsky's.
Did you see Greg Gurley's thing where he's asking the players on Fans Want to Know about pizza, burgers, tacos?
Mm-hmm.
Start one, bench one, cut one.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Oh my gosh, this is so tough. I think I might be starting burgers, benching pizza, cutting tacos.
That's been what I think both Leroy Blyden and Keanu Dawes did. I would also cut tacos because
Don't get me
that's
wrong,
the thing,
I love
is
tacos.
you can do burritos, quesadillas, you can do
Yeah.
enchiladas, you can do whatever you want. But I'm starting pizza, man. Give me pizza.
Yeah, pizza's more versatile. You can do like a breakfast pizza. You can do, but like burgers are versatile too. You can do like a a barbecue burger. You can do a burger with an egg
Life
on
without
it.
pizza would not be
That's
good.
true. But you're benching it. You're not getting rid of it. Trey says, which former KU hoops player would make the U.S. World Cup team?
We've had a lot of really good. I kind of want to say Joel Embiid.
He started playing. Yeah, he
Played a
started
lot of
off playing
soccer.
soccer over in the Congo, Senegal.
Where was Embiid from? Neither of those.
I'm looking it up. Cameroon.
Cameroon,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he played a lot of soccer growing up. So did like Flory Bidunga. I mean, there's a lot of those guys. I think
Who?
like Paul and Bia even like playing soccer.
You know who definitely would make a team?
Who?
KJ Adams Jr.
Yeah,
Played a lot of lacrosse.
that's right.
Crazy athlete.
You know who also played a goalkeeper in high school? Mitch Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Got good wingspan.
Yeah, good wingspan. So
Good
Mitch
standing height.
Lightfoot could be in there. You know what? I'm going with KJ too. I think KJ might be the right pick for that. I mean, I don't know. There's got to be another.
Anybody who's played soccer, obviously.
Yeah, because like Joel Embiid played soccer. Like
Yeah.
he's nice. He's nice with it. I think he is. Thomas says nuclear war has started. You're stuck in a bunker for the next decade, and you can only do one hobby you've never tried before. What do you choose?
God,
What have you never done before?
a lot. I don't know.
Really?
Give me a list of hobbies. I'm gonna Google that.
Crochet. Googling list of hobbies.
List of hobbies. There's 170 plus you can get. Number one, running.
Ugh. No.
a
Well, you're
hobby
stuck in
that
a
I've-
bunker. You can't run.
A hobby that I've never done before. Most of these are just sports. We talked about yoga. I couldn't do that. That's too hard.
That's fair.
Creative and crafting hobbies.
See,
Maybe I
that's-
would do pottery. That'd be kind of
Pottery
fun.
would be fun. Pottery would be fun. Seth Rogen really got into pottery. He sells pots now. Pottery would be okay. Something time consuming because you got to burn time for a decade,
Yeah.
right? So like crocheting would be a big one. I've never tried it. Never done it. Pottery would be a big one too. Just any kind of arts and crafts.
I've never done pottery before, so that would be my choice.
Maybe I can get really into Sudoku. I've only done it like a few times. I understand the game.
It's fun.
Yeah, I know. My wife does it a lot.
Yeah.
She always does Sudoku. I do the New York Times mini crossword a lot. That's also time consuming, which is good. That'd be a good one to pick. Something that is like just so easy to pass the time.
Right.
You know,
Reading books.
Yeah. Reading. Yeah,
You've read a book before, haven't you?
I've read a book before. Yes, that's true. Elijah wants to know: would you rather be a human with bare hands or a bear with human hands? I say human with bare hands. If you're a bear with human hands, you know how hard it is to catch those little salmon? Pretty tough, right? You don't have the claws.
Well, bears can climb faster than they can run, but
you can't climb very well with regular old human hands. It'd be cool to be a bear. Also, your hands would get cold. They're not bipedal. I mean, they're very, very minimally bipedal.
Human with bare hands. I mean, people would talk about you.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. But also, like, you couldn't, like, write your name. Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to do anything. Do they have opposable thumbs? Probably not, right? I can't imagine they do. I mean, they have the claws. They can, like, claw into stuff. But, yeah, typing on a computer, no. You'd have to do some kind of manual labor.
Right.
Which I'm sure would be valuable.
I don't know what I would choose.
Would they be hairy as well, or would it just be skin and bare hands?
It would be hairy as well.
Okay.
Bare hands.
How high up does the hair go? Elbow? Where does
Of
the
a
hand?
bear?
Where does the hand stop? No. Where does the hand stop? Does it stop at the wrist or stop at the elbow?
Right.
Is it just the hands?
What if it's just the hands? Yeah.
That seems heavy.
They've got those like pad feeling things.
I don't want to be a bear with human hands though, because again, they're not bipedal. Ooh, that's a big hand.
You're just weak.
I just showed us a bare hand.
That's
big.
that's a big hand.
That's a good size hand. Okay. What are you going with? I'm still going human because if you're a bear,
I want to be a human.
do I have if I'm the bear with the human hand, do I have the mind of a human or do I have the mind of a
I think-
bear?
Only thing that changes is your hands. So if you're a human, you've still got your human mind.
Yeah, but
Which is
if you're a
unfortunate.
bear with human hands, everything else changes except for your hands.
Right.
So I still have my mind?
If you're a bear,
Yeah.
no, that's great question, Elijah.
question.
I love it. I
Good
love
question.
it. Appreciate everybody's questions.
Good one to
here.
end on.
Yeah, fantastic. That's our KU Mailbag segment. You never know what you're going to get in that segment. Appreciate everybody who has sent in their questions and taken their time to contribute to the show here on Rock Chalk Sports. Couple more segments for you. Next segment, we're talking TBT, talking NBA Summer League as well, and then we'll close out with our KU football opponent outlook, talking BYU. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Spring and summer are made for backyard fun. If you're like me and you've got kids running through the grass, dogs chasing tennis balls, family cookouts lasting past sunset, nothing ruins time outside faster than fleas, ticks, and chiggers. That's why families trust Custom Lawn and Landscape to help keep their lawns beautiful and protected all season long. Custom Lawn and Landscape has a home insect control program that helps defend your yard from pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. Right now, when you sign up for the season, your first application is absolutely free. That's right, your first application is free at Custom Lawn and Landscape, a simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. Dan, we've done some birthday chatter in honor of your big day, but what do you got going on tonight? What's on tap for celebration?
Yeah, I'm going to go out to dinner with my parents. They're coming down here to Lawrence. We're going to go to Merchants, actually.
Ooh.
My cousin is the manager, and she'll hook us up sometimes, which is really nice. Maybe give us an appetizer for
Little
a
house
bit
card
of a,
situation?
Yeah, kind of nice. So love Merchants. Going to go do that, and then that's really the plan for tonight. Friday, I'm actually going to eat at Terrebonne, which I've only been there once, but it's fantastic. I love their alligator po' boy. And then we're going to go see the Odyssey.
Nice.
Are
Is that
you
a little date night planned?
Yeah, a little date night plan. Going to go with a couple of my. So we're going with Cody, the best man at my wedding. Going to go with him and his girlfriend right now. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Really excited to go see the Odyssey. Are you familiar with the Odyssey?
I'm not.
Not even like a little bit.
No, sir.
Do you not even? You didn't read it in school?
I couldn't tell you anything about
Oh
it.
yeah, you went to a private
I
Catholic
did read
school.
the Odyssey. Now that you say that, I did read that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's what it is? I mean,
Yes.
I don't remember anything
It's
about
by
it.
Homer, not Homer Simpson,
Yeah,
but Homer, the
yeah.
other Homer.
Okay.
But yeah, oral, kind of like I mean, it's one of the
Annie Hathaway,
oral
nice.
history. Yeah, Anne Hathaway's in it. Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Gosh, who else? Robert Pattinson. It's by Christopher Nolan, and you are not a movie guy, but you are well aware of Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
I mean,
Batman,
you've seen
right?
the Batmans, you've seen The Prestige, which is like the most shocking thing about you. You've also seen Interstellar, which is crazy to me that you don't like that movie.
Yes.
It is mine as well
Me
as
seeing
Darren.
The Prestige is probably the most shocking thing.
That
about
was
me.
crazy, and it's such a good movie too. It's
is.
so good. Rival magicians. Oh my gosh, it's
Shout
unbelievable.
out to Christian Bale, by the way.
Yeah, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good. Shout out to Christian Bale and his twin brother. Spoiler alert. But what other? Inception. You seen Inception?
I think I did.
Okay. That's
You see what I'm doing there?
yeah, I guess.
You didn't think I had it
what
in me?
else has he? I mean, he's made a lot of really good movies. Tenet, which wasn't great. I actually wasn't crazy about Tenet, but yeah, I mean, Chris Nolan is just my favorite director. It's like him and Quentin Tarantino, which is like two of the most basic options, but also I do love their movies. So I'm really excited about the Odyssey. It should be a ton of fun. But yeah, that's really all I got in store. I'm gonna maybe play a little tennis this weekend.
Nice.
So
I know
that should
your
be fun.
Saturday's full up, obviously, with duty calls over there.
Yeah.
But that'll
Doing
be
some
exciting.
work.
Talking to some KU football players
Yeah.
over at the indoor complex, the Good Game Meet the Team tour. More on that on the Kansas Nation social.
I feel like I should be doing
outlets.
more for my birthday. I was gonna plan on. So we did this last year, by the way, where I invited a bunch of people over to my house and I made them do 2 minutes of stand-up comedy,
Yeah, you did tell me that.
and that was a ton of
that's
fun.
what happened. You just nixed
But
it this
it's
year.
just,
It just
well,
didn't happen.
It's just like, a couple people like couldn't make it, and like the 18th didn't work, the 17th didn't work for some people, and it's like, if I go to next week, next weekend I'm playing in a big golf tournament, the Kansas Cup. So I'm going to be playing 3 rounds of golf over Saturday and Sunday. So that should be a ton of fun. But yeah, I couldn't do it on those days either. So yeah, I guess I just kind of nixed it this year. Just didn't really plan on getting a big
You know
get
what?
together. Also, when you turn 28, I mean, at what point do you stop having birthday parties?
Dude.
Do you have a birthday party?
It's all about the mind. No, I didn't. I don't remember what I did.
See, that's the
at
thing.
all.
Like, you didn't have a birthday. Like,
I feel like I don't remember. But I mean, we always do something fun. What's your go-to dessert? I know Piper is really good at like cooking and baking. Is she got a cake on tap or anything?
No
Mine's cookie cake, for the record.
no cake on tap. I do have a pie in the fridge that Piper's parents got me.
Nice.
So that was pretty big. So really excited about. I've already eaten 3/4 of the pie.
Yeah.
Over the last day and a half.
They've
So
got that.
it's
And now-
it's become an issue.
And now you've got some birthday beers that you can indulge
Yeah, I
in a
can't
little
wait.
bit later.
Yeah, my NA beers.
A little Budweiser Zero.
Can I technically drink those since they're NA
I would
now, like on air?
Man, I would think so. But we
All
need
right.
them to advertise with us first.
True.
All right, the basketball tournament. We touched on this with Greeny a little bit, but update you on the 12 players on the roster right now for Jayhawks hoops: Marcus Garrett, Frank Mason III, Zeke Mayo, Tyshawn Taylor, and Mario Chalmers. They headline a really stellar backcourt for KU. KU also has Jacob Hanna in backcourt from Washburn. And they also have Tradeon Hollins that Greenstein was really high on. And then when you're talking small forwards, DJ Burns, who played most recently at Youngstown State. And then Kevin Young is listed as a small forward. He mainly played the 4 at KU. And then power forward, center position, not a ton. We've got Andrew Orr, who both you and Greenstein like, from Washburn, 6'9". Also 6'9" Darnell Jackson, who of course was on the 08 championship team at KU. And then 6'10" Carlton Bragg Jr., who played a little bit at
Kevin
KU
Young.
before going to New Mexico. I said Kevin Young
you
as
did say Kevin.
a small forward. That's what he's listed as.
Okay, he's listed as a small forward.
So
I guess.
probably some questions to be answered in the front court, but this team is going to go as far as the backcourt takes, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, Frank Mason III should be one of the best players, as should Chalmers, and Zeke Mayo should be the guy who fills it up from 3. Marcus Garrett's going to be your defensive stopper. Jacob Hanna, we saw a little bit last year as well, Washburn guy who really can play, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't be shocked if Jacob Hanna, is the best player that's not named Zeke Mayo or Frank Mason, because he is that good. And you know how much I hate giving credit to Washburn, but they have a very good head coach. Brett Ballard is a very, very good head coach over there at Washburn. I mean, they were at a few points over this last season, they were ranked number 1 in the nation. I think they got eliminated maybe in this Elite 8 or Sweet 16 of the Division II NCAA tournament. But Jacob Hanna and Andrew Orr, both those guys are really solid players, and Andrew Orr can bang down low with anybody, right? It'll be interesting to see Darnell Jackson, how mobile he is. I know he played last year for Jayhawks hoops, so that'll be interesting to see. He's like 40 now. We'll certainly see Carlton Bragg. He's 6'10", but again, he plays the power forward and not as big or powerful as you probably would hope. So, we'll see in the coming days, hopefully if they add, a true big man 5 guy, if you will. But adding Mario is going to be great. I mean, this team is going to be just unloading on three-pointers, you would imagine, with Zeke and Mario and, Frank. Jacob Hanna's a really nice three-point shooter. I mean, Tyshawn's going to be camping out on the three-point line, you would imagine. He's going to be coaching as well. Tradeon Hollins and Marcus Garrett, 2 of the best defenders in college basketball over the last few years. So, yeah, I think this team, has what it takes, and it should be a lot of fun.
It should be. And, yeah, we'll track that next week. The game times, again, for anybody who has missed this, going to be Tuesday, 8 o'clock in Manhattan, Wednesday, 7 o'clock in Topeka, and then, if necessary, Friday, 8 o'clock in Manhattan. And, again, that's just the first round. If Kansas beats them, they'll face the winner of the Wichita State alum and the New Mexico alum, and we'll try to dive into more details on that also. But, yeah, exciting for TBT to get Mario Chalmers in the fold. Nothing major happened in NBA Summer League last night. Today, a little bit earlier, Minnesota with DeJuan Harris was in action. And right now going on, actually, New Orleans. They, of course, have Melvin Council Jr. and Hunter Dickinson. They are in action. A little bit later, Utah with Darren Peterson gets back after it as well. So we'll let you know how those guys do tomorrow on Rock Chalk Sports. But after this, we are going to close out the show with our KU football opponent outlook. We're going to look at the BYU Cougars, who Kansas has beaten the last 2 times they faced them. That's next, right here on ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports here on kansasnation.com, ESPN Kansas City. Got to tell you about our partners over at Central Bank. Central Bank has Jayhawk Checking, which allows fans to carry their pride wherever they go, the official Jayhawk debit card. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. As the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life. Learn more about Jayhawk Checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. jayhawkchecking.com, Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. Let's continue our look. KU football opponent outlook. Dan, this brings us to November 21st. Kansas will host BYU. They've got a coach that was highly sought after each of the past couple seasons, actually, Kalani Sitake. And they've got a sophomore quarterback in Bear Bachmeier who really burst on the scene last year, a dual-threat quarterback, hard-nosed type guy who really can run the football. The last 2 times Kansas has faced BYU, the Jayhawks have emerged victorious. Didn't face BYU in 2025, but in 2024, it was the muffed punt game where Kansas was down 13-10 early in the fourth quarter. A muffed punt from BYU. It actually hit the shoulder pad of one of the BYU players. Right. Kansas was able to recover it.
It was a Jalen Daniels punt.
Yeah, it was a J.D. Pooch punt. KU recovered it, and again, as I had said, I'll never forget that heading into that game, KU, by the luck factor, was the unluckiest team in all of college football, and BYU was the luckiest team in all of college football by the legitimate luck factor. BYU was 9-0, 6-0 in Big 12 play. Kansas was 3-6.
What was the line on that game, though?
Yeah, it was 3.5.
It was 3.5.
KU was only a 3.5-point underdog. The Hawks were 2-6. They needed to win 4 in November to clinch bowl eligibility. They won 1 at home. I believe it was Iowa State they beat at home, or was it Colorado? They beat Colorado and Iowa State at home, and then BYU was sandwiched in between. So KU would go to 5-6 before they eventually lost to Baylor and Waco to end 5-7. But that was a huge victory. That was a top 10 victory on the road for this Kansas football program. Again, you wish a better ending for guys like Devin Neal, Luke Grimm, and so many other guys who had such a big impact on this program. But KU won 17-13, and then the year before at the booth in 2023 was the Kobe Bryant crunching hit returned for a touchdown where KU clipped the Cougars. So the Cougars going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder as they head to Lawrence on November 21st.
Yeah, they certainly will. And, you look at the Cougars from last year, definitely a new look with the whole Jake Retzlaff thing. He, has to transfer out, winds up going to Tulane, so they have to rely on Bear Bachmeier, who hadn't played in college at all. And Bear Bachmeier had a tremendous year last year. I mean, really kind of surpassed my expectations of him. I mean, 65% completion rate, over 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. Did have 7 interceptions on the year. Also gave up 16 sacks, but 139.9 rating, 139.9 rating. So really impressive stuff there by Bear Bachmeier. But again, they're replacing a lot of receiving talent. They are bringing in some interesting pieces. They are losing Carson Ryan, who had 620 yards last year at the tight end spot, but they will be bringing in a transfer, Walker Lyons, from USC. So that's one of our replacement there. Parker Kingston's no longer with the team. That's replacing about 900, almost 1,000 receiving yards right there. And then Chase Roberts got signed to the UDFA. I believe he's with the Raiders as of right now. So their top 3 pass catchers are no longer with the team. They are bringing over Kyler Casper, a former 4-star guy committed to Oregon, not able to stay on the field because of some injury stuff, but now he is going to be, in theory, really their number 1 guy. They also lost this is probably the biggest loss that they had, aside from maybe Parker Kingston, was Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly was a really nice linebacker for BYU last year. He winds up going into the NFL in the 5th round, but they're bringing over Cade Uluave from Cal, one of the top-rated linebackers, finished it last year with 100 tackles. He's actually from Utah, so really interesting stuff there. Going to be, essentially a one-on-one replacement for this Jack Kelly character from over this past year. But yeah, Bear Bachmeier, again, a really talented quarterback, and he's just going to continue to get better. Hopefully, he changes his number from anything other than that ugly 47.
He had a lot of success in 47, man.
I guess he did. Yeah, 3,000 yards. It's so weird to me. I say he's good, but it's hard for me to say that because of how ugly that number is. Like whenever I look at him, I go, oh, that's a bad quarterback. Just because I look at the number. But, he had over 3,000 yards last year, had 15 touchdowns last year. He is a really serviceable quarterback and, one of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12.
Hey, wouldn't you have said 77 was nasty until Luka Doncic made it a thing?
I still think
it's
it's gross.
Like 77 is great because Luka's in it.
I don't think that's true. I still think it's disgusting. I think
77 is not that bad. 88 is not, and this is not a stab at Mark Keith Morris, but 88 is not a good basketball number.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, that's like a 5th-string wide receiver number.
His name is Bear. His name is literally...
I also saw him he was playing the guitar in overalls at some thing at Provo. He's a talented guy.
I have not been to Provo. I don't know if I would like it.
I've heard it's beautiful.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
The mountains and
the voice of the Jayhawks.
No
Brian
bars.
Haney has been out there many times, of course, and called KU baseball.
Yeah, no bars. Not a lot of.
Is that the deal? No bars at all?
I bet there's no bars.
There's no way.
There can't be. There cannot be bars.
We should know this, right? But we've never been there. Are there? I know that are there bars in Provo? There are bars in Provo.
Oh, there are?
Although the scene is modest and limited due to local culture and regulations. Several notable spots exist for cocktails, beer, and nightlife. Yeah. Keep this in mind, though, it's as of July 2026.
Okay.
So is that the most recent time that information was available? I don't know.
I guess it is. By the way, but continuing on BYU, okay, fair enough. They have bars. Fine. Bear Bachmeier's not going to those bars. Yeah. But they have L.J. Martin coming back as their rushing leader from last year. 1,305 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground. Bear Bachmeier, for what it's worth, was their second leading rusher. He winds up with 527 yards, so really kind of a dual threat guy. And Kalani Sitake has a really nice program going there. We talked about this. It was on 3 and CBS Sports. They came out with a ranking of all the Big 12 coaches, and he was number 1.
Yeah,
he was absolutely, and by far and away, and rightfully so, right? You could look at. Maybe Texas Tech, maybe, gosh, I don't even know. Sonny Dykes, again, went to a national championship. But Kalani Sitake.
Kenny Dillingham
also went to a CFP.
Coach Leipold, I think, was number 6 on the list you're referring to.
Yes, Leipold was number 6 on there. But Kalani Sitake, that's not crazy to say that he's the best coach in the Big 12 right now. Would you agree or disagree?
I don't know. He's 0-2 in his last 2 against Kansas.
That's true.
I know that much. When you look at the schedule, don't think, just answer. Okay? Do not think. I don't want you to say, okay.
All right. I'm not very good
Win
at
or
thinking.
loss?
Sure.
Long Island.
Win.
Missouri.
Win.
ASU.
Loss.
Middle Tennessee.
Win.
Utah.
Loss.
At K-State.
Win.
Baylor.
Win.
At TCU.
Loss.
UCF
Win.
at West Virginia.
Win.
Okay, so that puts you at 6 wins already. UCF, West Virginia, Baylor, K-State, Middle Tennessee. You're actually at 7 wins. Middle Tennessee, Missouri, and Long Island. So you're at 7-3. Man, you are in a great spot as BYU comes to town on November 21st. Who'da thunk it? Needless to say, though, if Kansas is at 4 or 5 wins, this is going to be an even more important game.
Right.
And it's a team that, like you said, they're losing a lot, but they are returning a quarterback from a team who was in the Big 12 championship game.
True.
And you know that they've got a lot of money, a lot of people heavily invested in that program. At home, senior day for KU, important to win that one.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And, you know, it's like you said, it's going to be senior day. We'll see how everything is shaping up. But at the same time, I'm glad we're getting BYU kind of later in the season just because of the fact that you're going to know what team you get when you're going up against this caliber of talent, right? It can kind of work both ways, but BYU knows what they have in Bear Bachmeier and LJ Martin, at least in that backfield, right? They don't know what they have at the wide receivers position, right? So that gives them time to kind of catch their footing and get more of that chemistry on the field during games, in game-like situations, right? But the same with Kansas, right? You're going to have that chemistry built with Nick McMillan. You're going to have it built with Najee Cox. You're going to have it built with Dylan Edwards and whoever the quarterback is going to be. So I like the fact that you're getting BYU later because that gives Kansas a better chance.
Are you telling me that tomorrow on Rock Chalk Sports we're going to have a special guest?
I am telling you that
Yes.
we're going to be having a special guest. 3-time all-first-team Big 12 women's basketball player Samaya Nichols will be on Zoom, probably. We're figuring that out. Probably going to be on Zoom. Might get her in here, but Samaya Nichols is going to be on tomorrow's show. Be sure to check that out tomorrow. KansasNation.com as well as anywhere you get your podcast.
Yeah, Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow and Friday from 4 to 6, we'll have full shows for you and all the content we can give you for all things KU. For Elijah Schmidt and Tyler Brewer today behind the cameras and Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman saying thanks for joining us here, as always, on Rock Chalk Sports. We'll catch you tomorrow. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com.